Thank you, and once again, congratulations for all the winners of the Great Manager Awards from Dfcc. So, coming to the Hall of Fame award, every year we choose maximum of 2. So, the criteria given, we assume or assess that CEOs are great when they perform with their top lines and the bottom lines. But sometimes when we look at some organizations, we see when you are pushing too much for performance and numbers and results, you have lost some of your key talent. You are too aggressive because you have to meet your shareholder expectations. But CEOs are tremendously under pressure before, during and after the pandemic because they want their returns back, isn't it? So task orientation, aggressiveness combined, sometimes we become very ruthless. And the famous saying goes, people don't leave organizations, people leave their bosses. So this award looks at great CEOs who have contributed to the business growth, top line, bottom line. At the same time, we are looking at the demonstration of humility and diversity and inclusiveness. So when we say humility, to what extent they know their people? To what extent do they offer care and love to their people? Your board wouldn't have said that. No management book says love your staff. But there is a criteria now emerging as a leadership competency that you got to be humble, show humane qualities, and show diversity and inclusiveness. These are the organizations we are looking for, where you have the courage to walk your talk and say that diversity matters. Recently, a Sri Lankan conglomerate changed their logo and they added a lot of color, and they said diversity adds color to the organization. So this factor was well researched. We were doing this over a period of time, especially for a CEO or a COO or a DCO who's ending his term with his or her company. And when we researched about your CEO, along with 63 other CEOs in Sri Lanka, he was at the top. Shall we give him a hand? So let's hear what people talk about him in the market, inside and outside the bank.
I am very happy to speak a few words on this occasion when my friend and former colleague Lakshman Silva of the Dfcc bank is getting recognized and getting entry into the Hall of Fame, which is done by the Colombo Leadership Academy. I first met Lakshman over 20 years ago when I moved into Dfcc, and what impressed me at that time was that he was a great guy to actually take on anything and get it done. The no was not in his vocabulary, which was a very important thing for me as coming into a new position. To have somebody like that in my team. Then we progressed, and we at Dfcc, Lakshman came into leadership roles, and there he demonstrated very, very clearly that he was a leader of men and women and everything else, and events as well. He was able to grasp something and take it forward to its conclusion using his team, buying in from all the people in the team and achieving excellent results. So he's a man, I think, for all seasons, and I know that he is retiring shortly. But I'm sure that there is a lot more that he can give the society and the country, and I'm sure he will continue to do that. and I congratulate him on this award, which adds to all the other recognitions that he has received over time, and I wish him all the best in the future.
Yeah, I got to know Lakshman since I joined Dfcc Bank in 2013. I had the privilege of working with him when he was the CEO of Dfcc Vardhana Bank, and again when he became the CEO of Dfcc Bank. If I talk about him, actually he's a very, very passionate leader, and I would say he has a massive capacity to work. He's a unique leader. I think he has a set of exclusive characteristics that he has demonstrated over a period of time that I have observed. Actually, I would say I have worked very closely with him on many fronts. To name a few, I would say I have worked with him on capital augmentation arena, be it on fundraising plans, and so on. I would say if not for these economic downtrends that we have witnessed since 2018, I believe that he would have got a better space to prove himself, and he would have got a better space to achieve his full potential. Despite those headwinds, what I can say is, proudly I can say is, I think he has sailed through this difficult period. He has taken the bank through this difficult period, and he has brought this bank to a place where at the moment we can challenge the industry with much more confidence. I think that those credits should go to him. If not for his leadership, where he has taken the entire top to bottom, the entire staff together with him in achieving the vision, we wouldn't have come this long. In a nutshell, he's a unique character, a passionate leader, and I would say that he has a great future. He may be leaving us after completing a very successful tenure, but I'm sure he has much more longer road ahead of him. I'm sure he will achieve great heights beyond this point of being the CEO of Dfcc Bank, and I wish all the very best to him in all his future endeavors.
Hi, I've been working with Mr. Lakshman Silva for the past 17 years. During my working period with him, I found him to be a great boss. His human qualities, I appreciate it very much. He is accessible at any time to anybody who walks into his office, and he gives a hearing to everybody. If somebody walks in with a problem, he gives a hearing and he gives a solution at the same time. That's what I admire in him, and it has been very wonderful working with him. What I've noted in him is like he's a very honest and a loyal person to the organization. I know that he had been here for about 33 years at Dfcc, and what I hear from outside, from the other banks and stakeholders, he's very genuine in everything what he does, and then they have a high regard for him, and they always like communicate to me and say, okay, your boss is great. So I'm so proud to be his PA, and I wish him all the very best.
I met Mr. Silva in the year 2000. I joined the bank as an executive trainee, and then at that time he was the vice president in charge of the Colombo office. The first thing I saw about him was that he was a very charismatic leader, and why I say so is that I as a very young executive at that time in 2000, I saw how people rallied around him, and I saw how he was able to inspire people around him to achieve the given objectives.
I have been working with Mr. Silva after he took over as CEO in 2017. With his guidance, the journey to build the DFCC brand has been very successful and resulted in us executing many high-profile brand campaigns such as the Bank for Everyone, the sponsorship of the DFCC Bank Cup for the New Zealand Cricket Series, and the 65th anniversary, just to name a few. Mr. Silva has always been a pillar of strength to marketing. His extensive experience in banking has been an asset to DFCC. Also under his leadership, we were able to chart the sustainability strategy until 2030, which is a legacy that he will leave behind. I wish Mr. Silva all the very best in his future endeavors, good health and happiness always. Take care and stay safe.
I must first congratulate Lakshman for being conferred the Hall of Fame for Leadership Excellence. Lakshman has been a versatile and excellent all-round Chief Executive Officer, and he is achieving a lot of wonderful accomplishments and achievements for DFCC. He has made an immense contribution to the bank, and which was helped by his breadth of experience, commencing with a university degree, time spent with the Inland Revenue, and also his time at DFCC, first on the Development Bank and then on the Retail Bank. One of his greatest achievements was the integration of DFCC Development Bank with DFCC Retail Bank, the DFCC Vardhana Bank. You know, Sri Lanka corporate sector is a legacy sector. Nothing moves. Very few takeovers, very few consolidations or integrations. But Lakshman made that possible in a very cost and productive manner. Lakshman had a firm but very friendly and dynamic personality that assisted him in unifying everybody who worked with him. This enabled him to take the bank to great heights. And Lakshman was not only a conventional banker, he was also very commercially minded. He took decisions very much on a commercial basis, so that it was a pleasure working with Lakshman all this time. Lakshman was very quick at identifying problems and solving it, and also always came up with new ideas. And I must say, I certainly learned a lot by interacting with Lakshman. The bank will certainly miss your considerable experience and your friendly manner, how you united everybody together. I certainly will miss you as a customer of the bank, but the memories of our interaction will linger and be treasured. I'm sure with all your experience, the country has an urgent requirement for you to fill some of the gaps that the government needs filling. I hope you will extend your valuable contribution that you gave the bank also to the government in the future. And I wish you the very best.
I'm very happy to learn that my friend and industry colleague Lakshman is been recognized and honored with the conferment of the Leadership Excellence Award by the Colombo Leadership Academy. This is a much deserved award given the leading role that Lakshman has been playing not only within the banking industry but across through various organizations that represent a range of industry segments and associations that form the pillars that support our economy. So congratulations, Lakshman. This is well deserved and timely and recognizes in a way what you have given to the country, the economy, and the industry that you have served. My association with Lakshman goes back quite a while, but most recently we have been working closely as fellow directors, and of course Lakshman was the chairman of the Sri Lanka Bankers Association. At a critical time, Lakshman came forward and gave it the much needed leadership to help the industry and our customers and our economy in general overcome a range of issues and to find good solutions. So in this, as always, Lakshman displayed leadership, leadership as well as its good knowledge and diplomacy. My interaction with Lakshman, both as an industry colleague and a personal friend, has enabled me to know that his qualities, which are probably being well recognized through this award and honor, such as his integrity, forthrightness, diplomacy, and above all, leadership. Lakshman is also fun to be with, and he's well versed of all the relevant issues that is applicable to the situation whichever he is facing. As I said, Lakshman. More importantly, he's also fun to be with and a good friend. And I think all these qualities have endeared him to, especially his staff, his colleagues, and everyone that he has interacted with. So this is probably an overdue honor, a good recognition, and I wish Lakshman all the best with whatever that he plans to do in his future.
Now, this award is being presented in recognition of the professionalism, leadership excellence, commitment, and dedication to developing a high-performing business culture through humility, diversity, people and development, inclusion, and sustainability. Being inducted now into the Hall of Fame, the Senior Business Leader Award, Mr. Lakshman Silva. Warm congratulations to Mr. Lakshman Silva, and as you can see, it's a team effort. Family, as we said, plays an integral part. We'd like to call you up, Mr. Silva, if you will, to say a few words to our audience now.
Guest of honor, Srihema Kamarasuriya, Riaz Hassan and the team of Academy, Colombo Academy, and also Chairman of Dfcc Bank, my colleagues and their spouses. Good evening to all of you. I take this opportunity to first of all thank the Colombo Leadership Academy for awarding this very rare award to me at this moment. I'm also equally proud that we have been able to recognize 7 to 8 leaders through the Dfcc Bank under this leadership program. Over the last 34 years in Dfcc and about 5 years in the public sector, as Mr. Brito mentioned, the most difficult department at the moment, that is the Inland Revenue, I actually got the benefit of working in the public sector and the private sector. At the time I joined Dfcc, it was no different to a public sector organization. 34 years ago, Dfcc was like that. As Mr. Hema Kamarasuriya mentioned, we were an exclusive development bank and not integrated to the main line of retail banking. And the challenges that given to me over the years are many to mention here due to the time constraints, but I believe all those challenges that was offered to me to the best of my ability, with the help of my colleagues who were there at that time at Dfcc, and now I have been able to deliver as much as possible. As Mr. Amarasuriya mentioned, it's not an easy task of transforming a development bank to a retail bank, and as Kapila mentioned, that we are one of the leading commercial banks now in the country, and we have set the foundation for the next several years to grow and develop the retail banking franchise of Dfcc Bank in Sri Lanka. And I was also fortunate in the last several years to work with different types of people, colleagues from development banking to retail banking and versatile bankers. So I think all of them actually had helped me of growing this industry, growing this bank to this level. There could be some here in this bank at this moment, and some had left already in the bank. So at this moment, I must thank all of them who helped me to achieve those goals, and also ultimately for me to receive this award at the end of the year. Last 2 years, as Kapila mentioned, it had been a challenging time for Dfcc, not only for Dfcc Bank, for the banking industry. And I am proud that for the first time from Dfcc, we were able to lead the Sri Lanka Bankers Association for the last 2 years during turbulent times. And I think we were able to manage the regulator and all the others in favor of banking, because banking was under severe criticism in the last 2 years, but we managed to withhold all those and to sail through this difficult period. So I must also at this moment, while winning this award, thank all my CEO colleagues of the banking community who supported me in this endeavor. So finally, I am ending my career of 34 years, and as everyone says that we will leave a legacy, and I'm sure that it's in the safe hands, and the bank is now set to reach to the highest level. And with the dynamic young leadership team that I have developed for the next 10 years, we can rest assured that the Dfcc Bank is in good hands, and the bank will grow further and further and win that franchise that I envisage to win in about 10 years, to become one of the leading retail digitally enabled commercial bank in this country. And I'll be there around in the financial sector to see that results. And once more, thank you very much for recognizing my efforts in the last 34 years, and thank everybody who congratulated me at this moment of time. Have a good evening.